unknown, down the rabbit hole, where it stops, no one knows. We're going head into the unknown. Na, 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 na.
Hi, hello, everybody. Happy Saturday. I need you to give me just 1 second. I'm so sorry. Give me one moment. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm here. I'm so sorry. I forgot to take the meat out for dinner. And I was supposed to do it before I hit the live button, and I completely forgot. So I ran and did that really quick. So, hello, everybody. Happy Saturday. Thank you guys for being here. Welcome back to Criminality. If this is your first time here, welcome to Criminality. So, all right. Let me see who's here. We're going to say hi to you guys, and then we're going to, if you guys have watched yesterday's, a couple of you guys are saying there's something wonky with the ads on yesterday's live. I'm not really sure how to fix that. I don't put the ads on there. Like, I don't pick where they go or how often they are. I don't ever do it myself. So I don't know if I have a way to like take them out or like make them so they're not so many. I don't know, but I'll look into it. I promise. So if you guys have watched yesterday's live, then you all know that what we are doing in this little mini series of lives is going through everything that we learned during the trial. So yesterday we were discussing Libby's cell phone data, and today we're going to be kind of wrapping that up because I had to kind of end abruptly to go pick up my daughter. So we're going to talk more about that, see what you guys think about that. Anybody who got to watch it on replay but happens to be able to be here today for the live. So we're going to touch on that first thing, and then we're going to get into the DNA and what we learned about the DNA at the crime scene or the lack of DNA at the crime scene. So we're going to get into that. So let me say hi to you guys really quick, and then we can get started. And I'll try, if Shibby's here, I'll try not to filibuster too much. I can't make any promises. I'm a talker. I don't know. And I like talking to you guys. Hi, Gam. I thought my YouTube was broke. Uh-oh. Is it because of the ads? So the ads that are on everything now? So is YouTube just like doing some, like they just want like a ton of ads on shit? I don't like that. That sucks. The ads on YouTube have been increased everywhere. Why? Bob was having a lot, but he said that he put them on there. Then not long later, Andrea started. I assumed that Bob had told her what to do. So as a creator, what we do on the back side is we just hit like to monetize the video, and then YouTube like goes through and makes sure that it's, you know, appropriate, and then it can like give us a green flag, like, okay, everything is good to go. It can give you a yellow, which says, not all advertisers like this content and want to be a part of it, so we'll take, you'll get maybe a couple ads, you know, but not a lot. And then we can go back and like fight that and say like, hey, can you review it and see if, you know, maybe you got it wrong. And then it's just red for like, no, not gonna happen. You're not getting monetized for that video. But they go in and they place the ads where they put that, where like wherever they want to put them. It's never been an issue before. But if I remember right, there's like a place I can go in my YouTube studio that I think I can say something about like the amount of ads or how often they are, but I've not done that. I don't think I've ever done it, but I think I've seen it. So I will look into that. If you have premium, then you don't have ads. You're literally paying YouTube to not have ads, which is just it's kind of wonky because there's still certain places that you have to watch that they have ads regardless because they put it in the video. But whatever, that's neither here nor there. So I'll take a look at it. I don't really know. Maybe YouTube's just up in the game. So technically, I mean, we put them there because we hit the button to monetize the video, but we don't place them. Like, I guess you could. I've never done it, so I don't know. I have premium as well, so I don't get the ads. But that's mostly, I actually do it because for you guys, so that when I'm playing a video for you, that you don't have to watch the ads. You don't have to watch the ads in the video as I'm playing them for you. And then I just get the benefit of it, but I don't have to watch ads when I'm watching them, when I'm watching videos on my own. This is my get rich scheme on the ads, but it's really not, because as much as you think that YouTube wants, that's like pennies. So I'm not like, I don't want you guys watching a bunch of extra ads so that I can earn some pennies. Like, that's just silly. So, but I'll look at it. You guys have had the opportunity to watch the live yesterday. If not, like I said, we're gonna do a short recap and then kind of just go over some of your thoughts. And then we'll get into the DNA stuff. So let me just make sure I have all my things ready. Like, I feel all flustered now that I didn't take the meat out for dinner. Like, everything is like, maybe I forgot something else. So I was thinking a Snickers would make a great Weber's. Oh my God. You want me to pull the toe up, Catastrophe? You know, people get really mad when I pull the toe out. I pull the lack thereof toe. Yeah, the million penny lady. We did actually have a lady when I worked at Walmart who was stealing a roll of pennies like every day she worked. I mean, she'd worked there for like 15 years. So, I mean, she actually made some good money, but she stole a roll of pennies and figured nobody would care because it's a roll of pennies. So, you guys all want the toe. I see it. You guys want the toe. All right, hold on. I'll bring it out for you. I see everybody screaming for the toe. Hold on. Oh, shit. Cleveland Rocks, what's up? Hey, Gen P, IBR. Oh, shit. Now I want the Snickers. Well, now you're going to have to think about the Snickers as a toe, because that's what Catastrophe just did to us. All right. Everybody, if you don't want the toe, you got to watch out, because the toe is coming. I'm going to show you the toe. People are like, what the hell are you talking about, Teresa? It's just the tip, you guys. It's just the tip. Don't freak out. I want anybody to freak out. Don't freak out. Don't freak out. There you go. There's your toe. Now you have to think about a Snickers as the toe. And now here's the thing is, I really enjoy a Snickers. I don't eat it upside down. And now I'm going to be like, What the hell? What the hell? I'm gonna think of Snickers and this fucking toe. So catastrophe things. Now you ruined the Snickers. Cover your eyes, everybody. Cover your eyes. It's just the tip, you guys. It's just the tip. Hold on. I got one more. I got one more for you. This is like your favorite part. That's a boss toe. It's gone. This is Brad Weber's foot. This is Brad Weber's foot. He's missing just the tip. Wasn't ready. Rambling's like, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. I got one more for you. I do. I got a couple toe shots. Sorry, guys. It's just how it goes. It's Saturday. You know that shit's going to go crazy on a Saturday. How did you get the toe, not the toe? How do you get the toe to not be the toe? I can't unsee it. What's up, CT girl? He just wanted to be in charge. What's up, Dream Suburb? Oh, my God. Oh, hi, Angela. What's up, Christy? Hi, Dina. Snappy. Boy, girl's like, I feel sick. That's what he said, just the tip. I won't be tricked again. It's too late. I already did it. You don't want to know about the toe. So good. I'm not screaming for the toe. I'm screaming to never see the toe the next time I see Brad Weber. I hope it's at his own crimes. I'm still hella angry. Oh, yeah. I don't want anything to happen to him, though. More specifically, just because of Kay. Kay's lost all of her kids except for Brad. Like, how devastating that is. Not the toe. No, not the toe. Not the toe. What's up, Anita? I woman doing Krebin, huh? KK Nichols, no toe. And I will not pay for YouTube Premium. I was so severely hacked. Oh, shit. Two of my devices now belong to something in Maryland. What? Damn. Well, maybe he just was looking for some bait. His other foot still has a boss toe. Someone has the rest of that toe in a pickling jar. Or it was just, he was trying to catch the fish. Andy, no, don't be coming here and trying to yuck my yum. This is not my yum. This is my yuck. So you can yuck my yuck if you want to. All right, enough of that. I just did that for you guys. I know how much you guys all love that. Do an OnlyFans with the toe. OnlyFans with the toe. I know. I feel you, Angel. I feel you. It's only toes. This toe is kind of part of Delphi. Yeah, remember the whole, like, pay attention to the way that he walks. Somebody knows the way that he walks. All right, let's go. Where do we want to go first? Okay, let's go back to the phone. So I was playing around with this last night still, too. Oh, gosh, Luke, I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know what you did with the rest of the toe. I have no idea what happened to the toe. No clue. No clue. Just those are pictures from his social media. That's it. No idea what happened to the toe. Candy, I know. Oh, look at Commander Alpha Turkey's like, it's safe now. Anybody who is not watching and now wants to come back, go ahead. It's safe. The toe is gone. I still have it right here. So I mean, if you guys need it, like we can always bring it back up. It's right there. I'm gonna keep it. I'll keep it ready. It's just the tip, you guys. Don't worry. Okay, so let's go to the phone. So we're talking about the phone data yesterday, and like I said, I'm going to recap it. So I know hopefully a lot of you guys have had the chance to see yesterday's video, and sorry, you guys in chat are killing me. If you guys get out of hand, I'll show the toe. Hi, MK. To Toby or not Toby? Okay, so hopefully you guys got to watch the video yesterday. So we were going over phone data. And like I said, I'm just going to recap it today. So if you missed yesterday, you're not going to get the deep dive that we were kind of going into it, but we are going to touch on it again, just because I was playing around with it a little bit last night. And I want to see what you guys think, especially, like I said, the people who were watching on the replay and weren't able to actually give us what, what they were possibly thinking it could be. Okay, so we know that 12:01 and 1:31, there was no movement on the phone. From 1:31 to 2:08, there are 1,682 steps taken, which is 707.34 meters. So 1:31 to 2:08 is kind of a wonky time because we know that they are leaving the house. So there's going to be some of these steps, and we obviously will not be able to tell how many. So everything we can take from this point is it's kind of open for interpretation, if you will. I think we can nail it down to the best possible because of the timing and the ending of 2:08. So I think that's the best we can really do with it. So they get in the car and they're driving over to the Monon High Bridge, and they arrive there at approximately 1:49 because that's when we see, or we don't see it, they see Kelsey's car on the Hoosier Harvest Store video. We don't get to see anything. So there's a couple Snapchat photos that are taken inside the car, and then we have them getting there about 1:48, 1:49. So there's a phone call that's made. We assume that's probably to Derek because we know that she was calling her dad to see if he was going to pick her up, which is still interesting because that was kind of the whole thing that Kelsey always said was like, hey, I'll take you, but I've got to, I'm going to go over to my boyfriend's and then I'm going to go to work. So I'm not going to be able to pick you up. So it's like there wasn't a ride secured before they left the house. So I've always found that kind of interesting too. Like, how did she not have a ride home secure yet? So they get there about 1:49, and then we have these additional times from 1:49 to 2:08 where we can kind of calculate the 707.34 meters. So that's where we start at. Somebody yesterday was suggesting that we work backwards. We can try to work backwards. So I was playing around with that last night. So let's go over here. So if we go with the state's theory, which is, I think even working backwards, it kind of comes out the same to me. If we go with the state's theory, the girls are at the crime scene at 2:32. Right? Let me see if let me bring this up and minimize it so I can keep it on the screen at the same time. So the girls are at the crime scene at 2:32. Come on, don't play. Okay, it doesn't want to do that. Carbon says they arrived at Mears at 1:38. Interesting. Why do you think they arrived at Mears at 1:38? I mean, I know why I would agree with you potentially, but I want to know why you think that. Okay, is it one photo, Abby, not on the phone, or the video and pic still there or put on the phone? All or nothing. Oh. They find 2 of the 3, but no one saw the girls on that bridge. No, but Anna had commented that the picture of Abby on the bridge was found on Libby's iCloud, which is how they knew that girls were on the bridge. So I think that's also just a little side comment. That's not from trial, though. So you got to kind of play with that however you will, because Derek said they spoke on the phone at 1:38 when they pulled into the Mears lot. Right. Okay. And there's another piece of that, too, which I think your ... going to head to, Carbon. Well, we don't get to see these 2 Snapchat photos, so that would also be interesting to know what the background is, if we can actually see anything in the background that shows that they're actually driving in the car, or if there's a 1:41 and 1:43 Snapchats, if they're actually in the Mears parking lot. All right, that's something to keep in mind. So we also have the fact that she said Kelsey had said originally that she called her boyfriend when they got there, but then it comes out later that supposedly Kelsey called her boyfriend on the way there. So that's another little odd discrepancy in timeline stuff. So that's why I'm kind of going with what Carbon's saying. Jamie, that was my question too. That was my question too. He said that he did not find it on the phone at all. Hey, Lindsay. If the phone is plugged in at 1:38, I think that was when Libby got into the car and plugged it into the car charger to make the call and play music. No, I don't know that time. Maybe we can go back to Bree Wilbur's testimony and see if we can put that in there. So another one of the things that we're going to go over when it comes to what we've learned at trial is I do have a little side timeline that I've been trying to put together with some of the quote unquote witness testimony. I'm just trying to catch up with you guys. From the time BB saw a man on the first platform until the girls were accosted at the south end, minimally 11 minutes when no one saw anything and lots could have happened. If they're getting ready to get out of the car, she wouldn't have plugged it in. She would have plugged it in when she got in the car. Well, she's 14 at the time. I could tell you that my daughter would be like, oh crap, my phone's dead. I need to charge it before I go wherever I'm going. So does she realize it? I mean, that's another just a side rabbit hole type of thing. Like, does it affect the timeline? Because I could tell you my daughter would do that. She's 14. She'd be like, oh shit, I need to charge my phone a little bit before I go. Otherwise it's going to die while I'm wherever I am. Be kindness, KT and chat. Thank you for continuing to deep dive in this case. Too many discrepancies still. Yeah, I'm hoping that if we can put together just some things that maybe we'll be able to find where the holes still are, document the holes, and figure out whatever we can figure out. I don't even know. I don't know. Love to see. True crime band girl. Hello. Because the 414 is adding the second hill path that runs parallel to the bridge and cuts over to the flat area before the cross. Okay, it's adding the second hill path that runs parallel to the bridge. Okay, we'll play with that. Let's go look at it. Yeah, they said that it was plugged in. They did have that on the phone data. I don't know if anybody really was able to do that in trial besides Becky and Kelsey. But we've always heard that Carrie, Libby's mom, had a FaceTime with her that morning, but Libby's mom did not testify to that. Well, if we just hi Autumn, by the way. The tough part about this is I don't fucking trust Cecil. I mean, we know that Cecil's the one who's like the Google expert. He goes out and just Googles whatever he wants to figure out, and the data that we're trying to use to piece things together is also coming from Cecil. So there's a struggle that I have there. Like, he didn't know what half the shit that he was looking at meant. I don't know if you guys watched Karen Reed, but you guys remember? Oh God, what was his name? The Commonwealth accident reconstruction person who never even knew anything they were talking about, and he was like made a joke of, and they're not going to use him in the next trial. I can't remember the guy's name now, but that's how I feel about Cecil. I don't trust it either, but I'm just trying to piece together what we can from what we learned. and see if it even can make sense. Trooper Paul. Yes, thank you. Look at all you guys. You're like Trooper Paul. That's who Cecil is. Cecil is Trooper Paul. Carbon, that's, yeah, I'm right there with you. Okay, so let's go play around on this and see what we come up with. So what I was saying is we have the 707, which we know is part from the house, and then it's going to be part from the bridge. So what I've done is really more lined it up with where the photo is of Abby. Now, there's many people who don't think that photo means anything. So then we go with this data means nothing altogether, which is fine. But the way that we're working it right now has to do with this photo being taken at 2:07:20, which is also interesting because if they didn't find it on the phone, how do they know it was taken at 2:07:20? I've never understood that. So how do they have an exact time stamp of when this photo is if it's not put on the phone, right? I don't understand. How do you get the exact time then if you didn't find it on the phone and you only found it from social media? But take it for what you want. So 208 to 218 is where this 414 comes in. And so this is the one that kind of is the big conundrum for me, because here's where you have the 218, you have the 7 minutes of silence, and then you have more movement at 225, which is the 50.64, and the 2 flights of stairs / 20 feet elevation change. Need Horan to look at that. You know, Christy, I really hope, and I don't know if they will, but after the gag order is done, I really hope that some of the people who actually investigated the case who were not able to testify, I hope we hear from them. People are like, I want like Doug Carter to come out and tell us all the things he said he was going to tell us. He's not going to. Doug Carter's not going to tell us anything. That he's just going to be like, no, today's about the families, and today's not the day for that. There's just going to be some bullshit excuse from Doug Carter. Plus, I don't think Doug Carter knows shit about shit. Now that I've really paid attention to what this trial actually has shown us, I don't think Doug Carter knows shit about shit. So I don't know. I want some of those people, like a Kevin Horan, to come out and say, like, this is what I found. This is what I was looking at. They probably will never do it, but I still would think, I mean, those would be the people I'd really want to listen to. Okay, so here's kind of what I was playing with. I'll clear this and do it again. I'll get rid of some of this. I'll do it. I'll just do it again so that you guys can see what I was looking at. I don't want to stay on this too long because I want to get to the DNA, and there's a lot to go through. DNA, we might have to do DNA in 2 parts on its own, because a very brilliant person put some graphics together based on the DNA spreadsheet, and I'll tell you that there's a lot to kind of go through. So if we go with 2:07:20 being an actual photo of Abby with where they actually know this timestamp, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I said. We're going with that. Where's All Eyes? Did I miss her? Misty Moore, DHS lady, said she's got a lot of things to say once the gag order is lifted. Really? Dun, dun, dun. Hi, Scott. We missed you yesterday. If Libby went upstairs and changed her pants, the phone data indicates she wasn't carrying her phone at the time because it doesn't show the stair incline. Unless she went up before 1:31, which we're not. Oh, wait. No. What time was it? I'm saying the wrong time. I don't want to do that. Let me go back. Before, no movement on the phone. She's not carrying the phone if she runs up there between 12:01 and 1:31. I see what you're saying. Gotcha. What's up, Heavy Metal Rehab? I don't think. You think Doug Carter's going to write a book? I don't know. People are writing books, but none of them have been able to actually piece it all together cohesively. So I'll be interested to see if anybody does write a book that actually makes sense and isn't just half the story. I want the whole story, which I thought we were going to get more of at trial, but I don't feel like we did. I keep hearing this rumor that they're under the gag order. I also heard a rumor that they were just asked simply to not talk about it until after, and they're respecting that decision. I don't know what's true. Nobody has nobody has really actually said anything one way or the other, whether it's just all conjecture. So if the 707 meters stops at approximately 208, and this photo of Abby is taken at 207:20, we know that they walk a little bit further, approximately for the 208 time frame, right? So we go with about, this would be, even if we just go from just the 207:20 and we say that it's just there. So if we go back, we'll work our way backwards, and see where that puts us. And this is, like I said, it's kind of just approximate because I'm not being even as precise as I was yesterday about it, but it is what it is. Takes us to the mirrors drop off. So that's still about 613. So that's saying that about 100 of them, about 100 meters was at the house before they left, possibly. Hey, Bezo, email criminality187@gmail. How fucking long have I been muted? I'm over here just talking away. How long have I been muted? I didn't even hit the damn mute button. How long have I been muted, you guys? Oh my gosh, you're fucking kidding me. Fuck. Son of a bitch. So you guys didn't hear anything I said about any of this stuff that I was over here doing. I'm just over here just talking and being all willy-nilly. Son of a biscuit-eating bulldog. Shit. Gosh darn it. God, I need a drink. I don't even know what the hell I said. You know, when that happens, it's probably like the most prolific things that I've ever said. And I said them to myself, just sitting in my room all alone, you guys not hearing me. And I'll never remember what came out of my mouth. Yeah, I'm telling you. I'm just chatting away. I thought you guys were just going with me. Thought we were all just on the same page. We're all talking, having a good time. Son of a bitch. Sorry, you guys. Okay, I don't even know the last thing you fucking heard me say. All right, so I guess we'll start that again. We're talking about this. I can't believe myself. How the hell did I even hit that? I solved the whole thing. The case is done, but I'll never be able to repeat it. Darn it. Okay, so we're talking about the 707. You guys are like, I'm tired of you repeating the same shit. The 707, the 707, so just the 707 takes us to the 208. Okay. I don't know what I said after the email though, so it's just Such a waste. Such a waste. Anyway, okay, so we drop off. We're walking the trail, okay? This is where we need to get to the 707. I'm so sorry, you guys. Sometimes I don't even know why you guys stick around. I don't know why you guys like me. I just do stupid shit like that. Okay, so let's get to the 707. So I was saying, if we go to the photo of Abby at 2:07:20, we know that they have to walk a little bit more because the timing cuts off at 2:08. So either they're like kind of just hanging out in here, or they're walking a little bit further. So if we do the entire approximate 700, then that would take us to right where the F tree is, the backwards F tree in the Richard Allen, not Richard Allen. Well, it is Richard Allen at this point, according to the jury. So I guess we can stick with that. The Bridge Guy video where you see the backwards F, okay? That's why you stick around. Thanks, VR. I appreciate it. We like you. Keeping it real, just muting myself, doing my own thing. Today is not the day. Today is not the day. So here takes us to about the 700 mark. So we're somewhere in between the 2:07:20 Abby picture and the backwards F tree. Okay? Does anybody need a reminder of what the backwards F tree is? It's from the Bridge Guy video. I'll show it just in case. This right here. Right here. This one. So there's Bridge Guy. And then behind him, you see a platform here. And then you can see this weird, like F, backwards F looking thing. So that is at approximately platform 5. What's up, Tammy? So platform 5 would be the platform that you can see in the Bridge Guy video, right there. And then he follows them. So he's somewhere up in here, right? So we know the 707 takes us between the photo of Abby and the backwards F tree. Okay? So we save that, leave that one there. That's the 707. Now, if we go with the state's theory, which is that the phone stops moving at 2:32 at the crime scene, right? So we can go 50, it's like 50.64 meters out from the crime scene. That's close. We'll leave that. It's 50.6. So we'll save that one. Essentially there's two F trees. There's the one that's inverted in the Bridge Guy video, and then there's the one that the defense refers to as the F tree at the crime scene. You know, Scott, you know damn well I don't respect that jury's decision. I mean, I respect the jurors, but I don't like that decision. That bitch is guilty. Hey, Carrie, thank you. Okay, so this would be the end according to the state's theory, right? So at the end, after the 7 minutes of silence, there's 50.64 meters plus the 20-foot elevation change. So 50.64 meters, 2 flights of elevation change. And then the phone stops moving. So for it to stay here, this is where they say it stops and it never ever moves again, right? From 2:32. So that means right before that, it has to do the 2 flights of stairs / elevation change. And then you have to have the 50.64 meters. Okay? So that puts anywhere in this radius right here. So the 414, which is in the middle of those two, right before the 7 minutes of silence, you have 2:08. So from the time of Abby's picture, approximately, until the 7 minutes of silence, we got to go 414.38 meters. And this is what I was trying to figure out. So this is like kind of the wonky one of where do we get the 414 meters? So I did a couple different things. And so if we, for the states theory, this is the only way I could find it working. So if they stop moving, no, if they stop moving, stop walking at where they take the photo, where Libby takes the photo of Abby, okay? Which is at platform 3. This is platform 3 right here. So Libby was out on platform 3 when she took the photo of Abby. Okay? So if we go from there, you got to go to the edge of the bridge, right about here. And you got to go down the hill. So down to the private drive and then down that little hill right there. And then if you go, you cut over here. Cut over here. Remember, we can't go to the crime scene from here because they still have to have the 50.64 plus the 2 flights of elevation change. So the only way I could kind of figure it out is if they came over here approximately. Like I said, this is kind of just rough. This is 412. So they have to be able to hit like the outside of the circle. You see what I mean? So even if like we go down to the edge of the breach, like go down right next to the water and we can come this way, they have to go to the right at like this, right at the edge of that circle. And then they have to stop for 7 minutes. So they'd be over here. I cannot figure out another way to make them get over here according to the state's theory. When I say that, I don't mean according to any of our theories. I'm trying to do it according to the state's theory to try to make it make sense. So, because now at this 2:18, we go 7 minutes of silence, right? And then we have more movement. Nope, shit, sorry. We have more movement that starts at 2:25. 2:25 to 2:32. So now we have the 7 minutes of movement where they go 50.64 meters. So they have to be on the outside of this circle. And then you can go the 50.64 meters over to the crime scene. You don't think you can go down the hill where I have it? This is, let me pull that up. So this is the south end of the bridge. You can see down the hill, down to the private drive. Let me have another one. Hold on, let me find it. Might actually be in video. Jen says, turn on the contour. You know I don't know how to do that shit. I have another photo, though, a wide one. From the private drive. I just have to find it. This one. I already show you this one. This one. It's a little bit wider. Right here. So going down here to the private drive and then just going down here, you should be able to go down there. I think the second hill is easier to go down parallel to the bridge. Yeah, right here, no? like HCC did it in reverse. Is that something that he did recently or a long time ago? That might be why I'm thinking in video. Is that something that he did recently? Yes. Okay. Is it this a walk from the cemetery? Let's see if we can find it. All right, hold on. This is I'm walking to it. Oh. Yeah, that's a freaking hike.
A spider on my phone.
Ooh, hell no.
Probably spiders all over me.
Gross.
I don't give a shit.
I do.
So, as we know,
Hey, does anybody else feel like we're like watching Blair Witch right now? Because I kind of feel like I'm watching Blair Witch. You know, like spiders. Oh shit! HCC, where'd you go? You okay? Yeah. I'm trying to get my footing on my bearings on like where he is coming from the cemetery. So he's at the water. There's the log in the tree.
Not really a big deal.
Oh fuck, HCC, what are you doing? Where are you going? Okay, that's the hanging over tree.
So,
oh wait, he skipped.
Right
okay.
Through here is that ravine where it goes all the way up to the cemetery. And these banks are high. Yeah, it's summer. These banks are really high. Taller than me. Much taller than me, actually, in some spots. It's hard to see. So as you can see, those banks are above my head, 6 foot, which is barely, I mean, they're like 5-6 feet all around.
Yeah, but we need 20. We need 20.
Right I came from like over there. No, over there. Right in that area right there. And it'd be real tough to pull any weight up these sides. And these banks being high, there's really just the one spot over here to get through cleanly.
Got there's so much green out here right now though when he's filming. That makes it tough.
On the rocky, my shoes are watery inside. Oops, it's fun. Here's the.
Look at them.
Let's go.
It's a great video of the path from the ravine down to the crime scene. Okay. But we're talking about like the bridge side. So here you go. Here we go. Okay, hold on. Let me skip a little further ahead. So we're under the bridge now. Yeah, just for anybody who's joining later, what this little mini series is really just going over all the data we got in the trial that's really what we're just trying to put the pieces together from what we've learned. So I know that there's people who think he's guilty.
No.
There's people who think he's completely innocent and was railroaded. The purpose of these is to
Really good
digest
way.
information, walk it through
That's what
together,
I
and
want.
see what we come up with. So, I don't want. You're fine if
There's
you
a
think he's
private
guilty.
drive.
You're fine if you think he was railroaded. I don't personally care what your opinion is, as long as you're not a dick
It's a snake.
to each other. Like that's really it, and not a dick to me. Like you guys know, that's literally like the only rule that there is. Okay, so he just walked up from underneath there. There's their private drive. Want to play it without sound? Yeah, I can do that. Just in case he tells me something, though. Let me see if he doesn't have closed captioning set up. No, I don't know if I can play it without sound. I might turn. Maybe I'll turn it down because if he says something about where he is, I want to know what he's saying. I literally feel like we're in like the Blair Witch. But I mean, you're out there walking it. It's really hard to. Okay, he's walking up the right side of the end of the south side.
It's way easier going this way than the other side that everybody thinks they went down.
Well, the reason they think that they went down the left side was because people that were there that night said that there was disturbances on the left side of the bridge.
All over me. So if you hate that, you keep getting spider webs all over me. With spiders.
So he's at the south side right now.
This may not look easy, but this is the easiest way.
I wouldn't even want to be walking this. This is HTC's, Andre. Hoosier Cold Cases. He's obviously out here at a very different time of year, so nothing was this green at the time of the girls being there.
I'm going to have to shut this off, go the rest of the way.
Okay, HCC's in much better shape than I am, and he needed to rest.
Yeah. This is just down one hill. That's just one hill. That's not down. Both fucking hills. Oh, God, I can't walk this. Wish I could because it'd be a lot easier.
Okay, right here is where they have like the dirt disturbances, but this looks very steep compared to right here. Right there. So this is where there was supposedly these disturbances in the dirt. And then people were like, well, wait a minute. There was other searchers out here. So could it have just been the other searchers that did that? And nobody could really be sure. But that's where the idea, the premise came from, the fact that they went down the left side and went down to the private drive.
You could slide down that, but God. Oh. Man, nightmare. For an older dude, fuck no.
See, this is all overgrown now. This was all completely empty. There was none of this green was there. It was just black. Now you're getting it's too steep here. No, not going down the hill over here.
Everybody thinks these theater ramps are drainage ramps. If you keep coming back.
No, it would be over here. But does he go down? Need him to go down the hill. Does he go down the hill? Don't go down the hill there.
Yeah. That's a little easier.
I think yes.
A little bit.
I need him to go down the hill so we can see the second side of the hill.
see any horses.
Does this see any horses? You must be looking towards Ron Logan's property. I need him to go over here. Hold on.
Does it make way more sense? Out here.
Oh, he skipped it.
I made a big note. So I have to say, when I went down what everybody thinks is down the hill, actually wasn't that bad at all.
Okay.
So I've changed my mind about that.
But now, where are you going? Scott, I think you're kind of missing the whole point of what we're doing here. You just want to keep reiterating that you think he's guilty, which is great. I understand. I don't think anybody here questions what you think. We're trying to go through all of the information that we learned. So either stay on topic or I'm going to have to time you out, which I don't want to do because I actually like having you here. So, but I'm not going to, you can't just sit here and repeat, well, he's guilty, he confessed, he's guilty, he confessed. Like that doesn't help digest any of the information or process anything that we learned. So if you're good and he's guilty and he confessed and you're done with it, by all means, move on with your life. He's walking too far. Okay, so this isn't, I need him to go down that other hill, or at least look down the other hill from the private drive. Because he can go down, okay, hold on, I'm gonna go back over here. So you can go down, this is where they go down, and he says, okay, yeah, so you're thinking that this part here is too steep? This part here is too steep to go down the hill. Well, it gets even steeper over here. Go, babe. I'll be right there. I got it. I'll be right there. Yeah, she does have a few where she goes down. Let me see if I have hers. I don't want. Otherwise we're already in an hour now, and I don't want to be stuck in the phone stuff forever. We'll never get to DNA. This is gonna end up being phone part 2. We'll have to do DNA another day because there's so much DNA to do. Julie's videos. Let me see. Nope, that's her screenshots. Let me see. It's this one. Is it this one?
Okay, I'm going to video down the hill. I just came right down here. There's a driveway there. There's the underneath side of the bridge. There's my husband down there. Ted.
Okay, so first down the hill.
I can get down here with my... Yeah, you can get down this little hill pretty easily. I mean, it's not like it's that bad. Once you get down this tiny little hill, then you're like free and clear. Oh.
There's an echo? Shit, sorry. Let me turn it off.
I don't see like a no trespassing sign or anything like that. I don't know how much of this, where the private property ends and begins, but looks to me like, so this trestle was the underneath side of it. Now it's all just flat land.
Go down right there easy.
Pretty much, yeah, you could go down that way pretty easily. And then the creeks, once you're down there, the creek's just right over there, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, because there are those trees across there. I'm going to look around a little bit. Okay. There again is where we came down the hill. And then there you are. Then you just come down this way.
See, I'm gonna pause it because for whatever reason, when I play it on this player, it has an echo. So I'll pause it so you guys don't have the echo. But I don't see any issue with going down the hill right here. down that second hill. You see what I mean? Isn't this where the first shoe that Kelsey saw was? So according to Kelsey, Kelsey was standing up on the private drive when she heard people down below like screaming, like, what kind of shoes did the girls have on? And that the shoe thing is like, it's weird for me, and I don't want to go. It's a whole nother fucking rabbit hole because she changes that story a couple times. But she says like somebody down there found the shoe, and as soon as they told her it was the Nike shoe, she knew it was her sister's. So I think people always think it's by the private drive because she said she was on the private drive. But what she's saying is that somebody below saw it, like found it. Well, that would be from whoever found the shoe in the water, which we now know is supposedly, some of the searchers, and then we have the photos of it that ended up getting leaked out to the public. So this would still have to be part of the 414. And in doing this, you have to believe then that the iPhone does not track descending, which I keep hearing back and forth on whether it does or doesn't. I don't have Apple. I don't know. I'm not an Apple person. I could Google it and be an expert in about 5 minutes if you want me to, but I don't know for sure. I keep hearing different things. But if in this state's theory, you have to think that the Apple iPhone then does not track descending flights of stairs. It only tracks ascending, going up, not down. So she's on the private drive now. So they would have already gone down that first hill, and now they'd have to go down the second hill. So this is what we were trying to figure out, if this hill, this second hill from the private drive down, would be too steep. Like where I have it going down, so you go down to the private drive and then you go down again. I don't think it's too steep. I mean, maybe you could cut it like over here a little bit, but I don't think it's too steep. I think you could go down it. She said she was up at a level where the police cars were parked on the private drive when someone held up the one shoe down at the creek. They held it up? I thought they just yelled up. But like I said, I've heard a couple variations of that. So, hey, Mother of Dragons. Sorry, all those. Oh. Only up? Okay. So, then that puts us that they don't come back up here. They have to stay down here. Like I said, we're just talking about the state's theory of events and how it could work. So if they go down the hill, they have to go down the other hill, then they have to go around, come over to the beach, and then come over here before the 7 minutes of silence. Or they have to just walk around in circles. I mean, they could just stay over here and just walk around in a circle, and then make it. So, but at this point, they have to be on this side of the private beach. Your Apple iPhone health does not track descending. Okay, well, that's very interesting to me. If you would have asked me a year ago, I would have said it would have tracked both. Hey, you animal. Okay, so this would be the state's theory. So then you have to go, if the girls are here for the 7 minutes of silence at 2:25, this van would have to drive by that scares him, right? So we'd have to backtrack, which I'm not going to do right now. You guys are welcome to do and send me whatever data you find. But if Brad Weber clocks out of work at 2:05, is he at this point in his private drive at 2:25? I may do that later tonight too, but I have not done that. So oh shit, what the hell? That's not what I meant to do. I'm just clicking shit now. Let's clear that. So anyway, the girls and the killer would have to be on this side of the private beach before they cross over. Okay, for the state's theory to work. Now this would also have to equal a 20-foot incline. which we looked at the photos. Where'd that player go? Let me see. Is it this one? Remember yesterday I was looking for a photo and I was like, crap, I can't find the photo. I think it was because it's in the video. There's your crime scene right here. So the distance up would be from, it's just not 20 feet to me, but I mean, I don't know. Once again, hey, Lucy. So from the water's edge up into the crime scene, which this is the side of the crime scene. So it would be up into the side of the crime scene. It's not 20 foot. So I don't really understand how that comes into play. Okay. Let's see. Maybe it's the other video. Nope, that's still on crime scene side. All right. That's for later. Okay. So let's clear this off. So now the other option is we need 414 feet. So once again, just kind of a rough draw of it. Taking us to the end of the bridge where the video is taken at 213. We go down the hill. We go to the private drive. Then we take the private drive around. That puts us at 414. So we were looking at it like where could they have possibly gone in the 414 meters? So you have to have Brad Weber in his van at this point on the private drive at 225. For him to be scared to make them cross the creek, go over here, which I'm still gonna have. I still have my same argument on. He's so scared that he's gonna get caught because he sees this van that he decides to tell them to go across the creek. Takes the time to unalive them both. Takes the time to, or first tell Abby to redress herself, or he takes the time to redress her, whichever one you want to go with. Takes the time to, quote unquote, try to hide them with sticks instead of just burying them under leaves, and then stays there for another approximate, hour and a half. So a half hour to do all of those things, or you think it's longer? So an hour and a half before he walks up and goes to 300 North where he's seen Muddy and Bloody. You see what I mean? But he's petrified he's about to get caught from this van. So he takes him over here and does whatever. All right. Hold on. I'm done with that. All right. Okay, I need you guys to give me just a minute. I have to go take care of a tiny human real quick. I'll be right back. So 1 second. I'll put this over here so you guys can see, and you guys tell me what your thoughts are, and then I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that, you guys. Let me check with you guys on chat and see if there's anything else you guys are thinking about the phone, or if we can move on to DNA. I agree with you, Lucy. It doesn't make any sense to me either. But for whatever reason, it made sense to 12 jurors. And so now I'm at the point where I'm trying to figure out how 12 jurors got to guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Hey, Mama Gritty, please don't forget that in deposition early on with Brad Weber that he told the cops he went and serviced his ATM machines. Well, I won't forget that, because anybody who knows me knows that my first two POIs in this freaking case were Tove Lesenby and Brad Weber. And the reason that I had to get over Brad Weber was because he wasn't home until 3:30. And everybody was like, he had an alibi. He had an alibi. He left work and went and serviced his ATM machines and had an alibi. He wasn't even there until 3:30. Even if you go back to my video right before the trial started, where I was going through my hypothesis, I even talked about Brad coming home at 3:30, not in a white van necessarily, but it could have been in the van. But that maybe whatever was going on over here would have stopped. But then we still went back and we're like, okay, that still doesn't make sense with the motive that the state wants to say, because if the motive is to sexually assault the girls, now he's had them for an hour and 15, minutes. So that doesn't make sense that he doesn't sexually assault the girls then, if that was the whole motive. So you can't put that together for me. I did, Lady Claymore. I thought it was Tove Lesenby. So for me, it just doesn't. I don't see what they saw, and that's where I'm stuck here, trying to put these pieces together on what was said in court. What did these 12 jurors come up with that I don't see? And so this is why I say I don't care if people in the chat think he's guilty, but you're not helping me put pieces together by just repeatedly coming in the chat and saying he's guilty, he did it, he's guilty. You'll learn at some point he's guilty. Like, it's not constructive to anything. Like, I want to be able to put the pieces together and come out at the other end going, yeah, I understand now why they voted the way they voted. That's where my brain is. That's how I function. So just because somebody thinks that he's guilty and they want to come in and tell me 20 times, I'm not going to change my mind. So don't waste your time. Jurors started guilty and have to be convinced otherwise. It shouldn't be like that. No, it shouldn't be like that. Okay, so 202 plus 5 minutes plus 27 minutes for law-abiding, non-speeding driving. I don't know that time 232 would be right if they hadn't already crossed the creek. Perp could see van from across the creek. So he clocks out at 202. It was 202. I don't know why I was thinking 205, but 202 sounds right. Plus 5 minutes plus 27 minutes for the law-abiding, non-speeding driving. I don't know that the time 232 would be right. Well, you have to go to 225, because according to the state's theory, he goes across the creek. He has them cross the creek at 225. So Brad Weber has to be here in his white van at 225 for that confession to make sense. So can we put Brad Weber here at 225? He'd have to be here. At 225, he leaves the beach, tells the girls to go across the creek. They go to the crime scene. Why, Tobe? Okay, you guys, I think I've shown this before, but I'll show you again. Why, Tobe? This is, back at the very beginning when we were like, oh, let's actually look at the face of the guy on the bridge and we'll be able to figure out who he is. I don't believe that anymore. I don't believe that you can actually tell anything about this video from what they did. Hey, Dan. Hold on, it's coming up. Right here. This was one of the very first photos that came out from, Bridge Guy video. And so he looks just like Tobe to me. He's got the mustache, You know, this was before everybody started playing around. Not, I shouldn't say before, because people were still doing it, but not nearly as many. Hey, Callie. It was just a simple, like, that looks like Tobe. Like, if I just look at this photo, it's Tobe. That's where I was at with it. So, but see, I mean, that's why I said, like, once everybody starts comparing this guy on the bridge, these photos and these images that were released, you know, we did it a lot. We did it to a lot of different people, and I just don't, I don't see it. Like, look, see, like here, like that doesn't that look like a thick old black mustache right there? Everyone was bridge guy. Exactly. I don't want them doing that either, Humanimal. Absolutely not. It's not, yeah, I don't want to do that either. To either side. Just the repetitiveness is this, it's the same thing to me. Like, I want to be able to work through all the things. So no, you're right. And I don't want it on either side. If that's the only comments over and over again, yeah, don't do it. I did see the image comparison. Is there any other reason? No. We didn't know much at this time, though. Like, when I really started digging in back in the beginning of 2019, there wasn't like a ton of info out. You know, there was a lot of rumors and a lot of speculation, but people did tip in Tobe too. In the interview he does with Barbara McDonald, he says that he was interviewed because he was tipped in. So that was it. Like, it's a nothing burger. Like I said, just going back, it was just don't even. I just, to what I thought at the time, and that was why. So, and then Brad Weber, because a lot of the speculation and the rumor stuff that was going around about Brad Weber's personality and how he treated people who would come onto the property, and the fact that Kay was gone was a big deal. And, you know, he would have been there alone. And then there's always been rumors that there was blood found in the Weber barns. So Brad Weber became like a number 1/2 for me. But it was like, no, he can't be, because Kay Weber, his mom, had told everybody that he was not home. He went and serviced the ATM machines, doesn't come home until 3:30. Between 3:30 and 3:50 or something like that. 3:20 and 3:40. I don't remember. Somewhere right in that time frame. So I just stick with the 3:30. So this whole thing at the trial for me was like, wait a minute. Now you're telling me this guy is actually supposed to be there at the time? And the whole reason nobody was allowed to talk about Brad Weber was because he had an alibi. But now he doesn't have an alibi. I mean, he has an alibi where he can't be bridge guy, I guess. But if we're going with multiple people, like if we go back to my theory on it being multiple people, I believe the girls would have been triangulated at the end of the bridge. So I don't know. Oh, thank you, Kindness Cake. I appreciate that. I'm trying to figure out if Brad Weber didn't really live there and had a home in Roseville. How and why were both his cars at Kay's? So Kay vacationed in Arizona, or was like a snowbird or whatever you refer to them as. And so she would live out there part of the year, and then he would stay here. But he did have another house. But Kay also owns other properties too. So it wasn't really like weird. Like that, they kind of just had this how they worked out, according to what like Kay kind of put on social media. So having both of his cars there, I don't know, it doesn't really surprise me, because she was gone for long term. It wasn't like she wasn't taking like a week off. She was like a snowbird. She was living there for a while. So he was staying here, take care of the property. The property was going to be his and his brother's. So I spent a lot of time following on what time Brad Weber came home from my reenactments, and my understanding was that Kay Weber always maintained that Brad Weber came home at around 3:30. Correct. We also find out that he tells law enforcement officers very near the time of the crime tells one set of law enforcement officers that he went and serviced his ATM machines, and he doesn't come home until after 3:30. He tells another set of law enforcement officers that he came home, that he did not go anywhere after work, and he came straight home. So, I mean, Mr. Reliable here, within days of the crime, has already stated two different things. Okay, so between BB seeing a man on the first platform and the girls being accosted at the south end equals minimum 11 minutes and probably more when no one saw anything. Oh, bye, hard candy. Don't stay away. Don't stay away. We love you here. Deuces. What happened on the 12th? Who really picked up the girls, Derek or Anna? The video of BG is fabricated image. That's why it looks like two different faces. I used AI on the AI, and it spit out an image that's wildly resembled Greeno. I think we can pretty much get Bridge Guy to resemble almost anybody in that area that we want. Who picked up the girls? So from my understanding, it's two different things. So Derek picked up Libby from her friend's house that she'd spent the night at, and then he picks up Abby from Abby's house. But Abby was playing softball earlier, and she had been with her grandpa in, oh gosh, I always mess this up. I think it's Monticello, but I might be wrong. You guys will probably tell me exactly where it was. That she had stayed at the hotel with her grandpa the night before, and he went and got her the new softball equipment. So I think that Anna is picking her up from grandpa, and then Derek is picking her up from Abby's house. Anna said she took the girls to the Germans. Oh, that's interesting. Abby lives, the end of the private drive is technically the Webbers. This is 625. So she lives down here. So this is not private. This is still 625 West. So Abby lives down here. So that close to the bridge. What does Rod Abrams look like? Let me tell you or show you. Ooh. Becky said Abby didn't have a change of clothing. Well, I also think that jacket, the gray jacket, it's not, I don't believe that it's Kelsey's. I think it's Abby's. And you can see that from the pictures of Abby wearing the gray jacket. So I don't know. There's just so many. Those are the type of inconsistencies that I don't even think with trial you're ever going to get the actual answers to. It just kind of is what it is. Like, who picked him up? Does it change anything if Abby was picked up by Derek or dropped off by Anna? Is that a detail out of all the things that they were going to remember at the time? Is that what would be like the most important thing to remember? I don't know. And I don't, like I said, I don't know if it. That's Rod Abrams. So you guys can see that. So, but I mean, we can say Rod Abrams looks like Bridge Guy. You know what I mean? Like, I agree. That's exactly what I think. Yeah. She would have had that sweatshirt with her Sunday. So I'll show you the picture of Abby in the sweater, in that sweatshirt, in that same sweatshirt. Let's go out of here. To Abby. There's that's the gray sweatshirt. You guys think that doesn't look like the same sweatshirt? Because to me, it looks like the same sweatshirt. With the white strings hanging down. Yeah, I think it's just her zip up hoodie. I don't think it has anything to do with Kelsey. I think it was Libby's that swim sweatshirt. I think it was, maybe it had been Kelsey's at one point, but there's no pictures of Kelsey in that. Pictures are Libby's wearing that sweatshirt in all the photos. But then in some of the interviews, Kelsey says that Libby had a sweatshirt in the back of Kelsey's car. So that's the same jacket. That's what I think too. Creek runs east to west. Cool whip. Cool whip. It's cool whip. It's cool whip. Kelsey saw on stand was brand new. I don't believe that though. What time? We've seen her in the photos of it. Maybe it's like the exact same photo. Exact same sweatshirt. That's weird. What time did Kathy Allen leave for work? 7:30, 8 a.m. Time for Rick to go a few minutes from home in his hat, seen in bar video, and go to private drive and be seen at 8:30 a.m. So this is a kind of an interesting thing when it comes to this timeline, because we don't know what time, and nobody really ever cared to ask or get clarification. Like, what time did he go to his mom's house? Like, we know he supposedly left there at about 11:30. Him, mom and sister were going to go to lunch, so on and so forth. But that's just part of the timeline that I don't think either side found to be important, and so nobody ever talked about it. Kelsey sat in the back seat, then sat in the trunk, then said it had to go to the back of the house and grab it. Yeah. Don't put me in there, Mino Dino. Where are we going? Delphi swim was Libby's, not Kelsey's. It wasn't new, and it had been worn. Videos, Kelsey's IG. Yep. I don't think that the sweatshirts have anything to do with Kelsey. I just don't. Maybe they left. Maybe Libby had left her sweatshirt in the back. I don't even know. I don't know. I just don't think it had anything. I don't think that they're Kelsey's. Now, what does that mean? Is it nefarious? Fuck. I guess it could be. Or is it just another? No idea. Rod Abrams looks more like BG. Right. I think in an interview, was it a Gray Hughes interview? Shit. Or was it the Kendall Ray interview? I don't remember. It was right around that same time frame where she talks about it being the Delphi swimming sweatshirt. Like, the only time I think we ever heard it was the Delphi swimming sweatshirt. But I don't remember off the top of my head which one it was. Did Chase work with his dad? No, I think Chase worked with her, I believe, at the time. No? Don't quote me on that, because I'm not really sure, but I thought he worked with her at the time, or in the same vicinity as her. Well, for I got a lot of questions on that, on all of that. So, tell me about the car. Like, the car shit was fucking weird. Like, they're saying that she drove 2 different cars. I don't know. I didn't understand that. RA has extra short legs. But now we learn that the unenhanced BG is spec in the background. Go figure. Right. And they couldn't just take the 10 grand to go and just do the height analysis. Like, how ridiculous is that? Oh, maybe. All I know is that he went into the military. Like, he signed up for the military and was gone, like, by August of that year. He was out. He bounced. Hey, Teresa. Yeah, he may have done odd jobs for his dad. I don't know. It's just a question because I am sniffed that the entire day wasn't mapped. I know. You and me both. I cannot stand the frustration. The entire 24 hours should have been mapped for many people. Yeah, it should have just been like, here's everything. Everything that we know, everything that they did, here's everything that happened. I feel like, and like I said, I understand that people are okay, like they think, okay, verdict was just, it was the right thing. I just feel like it was so, the information for this crime was so lackluster to prove anything about anybody at the end of that trial. Like I'm telling you guys, I'm fighting tooth and nail to try to make sure we get the transcripts. She doesn't want to give up the audio. It is what it is. I mean, I'm not a lawyer. I can't fight that. But there's so many like little tiny bits of information that I feel like we've been given inconsistently, and not intentionally, but just because it's people that are sitting there in the courtroom trying to gather all this info. That, are we missing something? Is there something that wasn't, like, is the public isn't aware of? I don't know. I just cannot wrap my mind around it. I want to see the map that Ellie created tracking the path of those 3 cell phones. Yeah, and we didn't hear, because geofencing wasn't allowed in, we didn't hear shit about these other phones that are at the freaking, supposedly at the cemetery on the geofencing. We don't know anything about them. Who they belong to. What time were they on the geofencing? Like, we don't even get the courtesy of when the geofencing is technically done, besides in court filings. We got nothing. Like, when you, I guess for me, like I'm an avid trial watcher. I like watching trials. At the end of it, you should feel like, okay, like I see what they did here. Is it true that the transcripts will cost $40K? Yes and no. So the initial cost for the transcripts is $5.25 per page. So if Richard Allen files an appeal, which everybody who's convicted files an appeal, I don't know when that doesn't, but so after sentencing, they have 30 days to file their appeal. So around January 20th. And then when they file the appeal, the transcripts are what is used in the appellate process. So they have to request them. So the lawyers will pay the big fee. So you're talking what? We have 17 days of trial. So I mean, you can kind of put together what you think, how many pages each day is going to be. We can look back at some of the other days or some of the other hearings that we've had and kind of look at the cost of those. But once they request the transcripts, we, the public, will pay $1 per page, which is what I have the request in for. Is once the appeal is filed and the transcripts are created, because we don't want to pay to create them. We want to just pay to have them. So I guess we're going to talk about the geofencing. I want to show you guys this, because this is a problem for me when it comes to the geofencing stuff. So let me get rid of this one. So this is the path to Weber's. We talked about that. I spent way too much time on this again. I'm so sorry, you guys. I say I'm going to do something and then I end up doing 500 other things. Okay, let's talk about the path. But I want to show you guys this. Okay, so this is the 414 that we were talking about, right? So this is about 87. Okay, so it's approximately 87 from this backwards F tree that we're talking about to the end of the bridge where the down the hill is. So we're going to do everything from here. So we take the 414 minus the 87, come up with 327. So we need 327 from the end of the bridge. Okay, so I just want to make sure you guys understand where the math is coming from. So we need 327 from the end of the bridge. So if we put in 327 meters from the end of the bridge, and puts it about right there. approximately. Right at the cusp of the cemetery. Like I said, it's approximate. So essentially, if we have people who are in the cemetery or in this area of the cemetery around the crime scene at the time of the crime, how the hell would those people not be important if Libby's phone data puts them going 414 meters before the 7 minutes of silence? Because then the problem with this is this does give somebody an opportunity to get them into a vehicle, drive for 7 minutes to another location before they walk 66 steps, 50.64 meters, and up 20 feet. So then this is why that is important to me, is I don't understand. This is not 20 feet. This is not 20 feet to this crime scene. I've never been there, so I hate being like that, but I cannot figure, if any of you have been there and you can tell me that that's 20 feet, please tell me that from the bank down here up to the crime scene is 20 feet. So having people's cell phones sitting in the freaking graveyard at the time of the crime, like, tell me what time specifically they were there and what time they left. Like, that's what I want to know. But that's just more information that we don't get. And it's like, no, we're just going to give you the pieces that we want you to have, and then we want you just to believe us that we got it right. And I'm sorry, I'll go back to the very beginning of when I started questioning everything. It all comes down to trust. There's people who trust that the prosecution got the right guy. Good for you. I get it. Good for you. You trust them. I do not trust these people. I do not trust their information. I do not trust what they have done with this investigation. I don't trust them. And so for me, maybe it'll never be enough because I don't trust them. And maybe it's just, I'm always going to be stuck in this spot of I don't get it because I don't believe anything these people fucking said. And so maybe I can't get rid of that. And whatever they said on the stand maybe came across very trustworthy to the jury. And they're like, oh yeah, we totally believe fucking Holman, who is, in my opinion, a piece of shit. So maybe they're like, yeah, we think he's like the greatest guy ever. We're going to believe everything he says, him and Mullen, who goes around deleting shit. Like maybe they just believed them. And it happens. Jurors, they find who they trust, and maybe they just believed them. I just don't. And so maybe I can't get over it. So I don't know. I'm sorry if that pisses people off. I just can't. I just don't know what to tell you. I can't get over it. So I guess for me, I'm hoping that by going through all of the information that did come out at trial, I can wrap my mind around it. I can go, okay, I see where they came up with this, or I see why they thought that. Scott earlier wanted to talk a lot about like Casey Anthony, and I absolutely disagree with the verdict in that case. But I understand it because the jurors came out, they spoke, not all of them, but some of them did. Some of them wrote books. They had their say, and I understood their level of distrust for the prosecutor. I understood their lack of understanding for certain expert testimony, like some of the commentary that they said about like why they came to their opinion, and how they just couldn't surpass that. And I was like, it's because they didn't understand it. They didn't understand the testimony. So it's like I don't not respect the jurors' decision. I don't understand the decision, and I can't just go, okay, well, they said so that's just how it is. I need to know more, and maybe I'll understand it better when they come out and talk, if they decide to come out and talk. I don't know when it's going to be over for me in my brain. I can't tell you that. I can just tell you that right now it's not. Yeah, I should not have, True Crime Fangirl too, but I know like us, the public, we have so much more information than they were given. And as much as the the ragers want to be like, it's because you guys all think about Odinism and it's just Odinism, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, that's not what it's not even about that. It's about that the shit that they try to sell me doesn't add up, and it doesn't, it doesn't make sense to be beyond a reasonable doubt. Not to me. But I can tell you, all those ragers should be really lucky that I was not on that jury, because we'd be hung. Yeah, the court case should have answered all the questions and not made more. I have the Patties always known that Frank Meister. Oh, I don't want to do that one. The band. I don't know that to be true. So I don't know that to be a true statement. I have not seen any documentation on that, and so I would not want to say that. How do you find 12 Hoosiers that haven't heard of this case? Sounds like a real... Yeah. I don't know how they didn't know anything about the case. Why is it that the public is so split, but the jury wasn't? I think that's a $1 million question. Like, how did they get to the conclusion that they did? How did all 12 of them agree? How did all 12 of them end up agreeing on that? And then people can get like, and talk shit about me or whatever, but it's like, I don't understand how they got 12 of them to agree on that. I just don't. Same level of detail as the Murdoch trial. Investigation seemed lacking in funds. That's the funny thing, Cindy, and welcome from New Zealand, by the way, is that they weren't lacking in funds. They were given millions of dollars. They wasted $1 million looking around the Wabash River. I really hope that whatever they ended up finding in that Wabash River, because they did say they found phones and they found guns and they found knives or whatever the hell they found, that I hope it solved other cases for them, because what a colossal waste of fucking money. $1 million and you won't spend 10 grand to do a height analysis? And then you spent 20 grand on investigative genetic genealogy, but we don't even know what the fuck they tested. People keep telling me it was a cigarette butt, but I still can't find any source for that. I'm just like, yeah, my 3 sons, like, just give me something that makes sense. And it's ironic because like the people who are like so pro that he's guilty just keep repeating the same shit they repeated before. And I'm like, it didn't help me before. It's definitely not going to help me now. So many unanswered questions. Let me see what Gabby said here. I'm convinced BG is the perp. He was so far away in the original video, didn't look like he was in pursuit of the girls. Then he just magically appeared at the end of the bridge with them. So this is something that when we talk about like the evidence being released, I hope that we do get to see, because I've heard different things about this video too. So we know that at least part of the video is filmed from Libby off the bridge down here. I think I might still have that picture up. Maybe I can. Do I? Maybe. Here. So like Libby is over here, like off the bridge for at least part of it. We know that Abby is walking on the bridge for part of it. We've also kind of heard maybe somewhat kind of walking quickly. So like think about like this photo. So this little platform right here that you can barely see right here. This is platform 6. This is not a clear enough picture for me to, and plus it's so green, it's not going to really work out well. But then platform 5 is going to be up over here. And platform 5 is what he's standing in front of. So, I mean, he definitely would have been, he's back here. He would have been tiny. But he obviously gets to a closer point to them, because they told, well, according to the state, They told us that he was 60 feet away from the girls. So, I mean, he's walking up on them. It has to be at a faster pace. And then he's in the shot where you can see like Abby's, hold on, let me see it. Did I pull that one up already? You can see like Abby's arm a little bit. So you can see the distance between Abby and Bridge Guy. Let me see. Which one is it? Is it this one? Right here. So you see this little spot? This, I don't know if I can trace it on here. Right here. That's supposedly Abby's arm. But this still puts platform 5 in the picture. So I don't know how much I believe that. And obviously we've never been able to see the video. This puts Abby very close to him. Even if she'd be up here, you know, like if you look at it from the other visual. I don't know. So are they showing us like when they zoom in? How is that blue arm, her gray jacket? I'm just telling you. That was what was always reported beforehand, but I don't got anything else to go off of because they haven't released any of the exhibits yet. So yeah, I'm just like, I could see that if you're over here and you're filming, that person's going to be a tiny little speck back here. You know? People in the courtroom said that they couldn't even see Abby's face clearly in the video because she ran up the bridge as the camera moved down. Right. So that would put them here. So that couldn't be. So then they like zoom in on this tiny little area and then try to stabilize it. I mean, it would kind of make sense. Like just even looking at the tree here, trying to stabilize that right there. That's kind of weird though. I mean, look at how it's like cut. You can make all kinds of stuff about this. Look at how it doesn't even line up. Like this whole area right here is like added in. You can say all kinds of shit about it. All right, let me see what you guys are saying. Are they going to release the exhibits? T, sorry, I just got here. If you already talked about it. No, it's okay, Mary. As of yesterday, I was told that the exhibits are not going to be released as of now. The court may decide to release them, but the court made the decision to allow the credentialed media to see the exhibits after trial each day, and that was the extent of, as of right now, what the public is allowed to see. Hold on, Mama, where's Mama at? They showed the video during closing arguments in the courtroom. Let me see. I hope they will release the exhibits with the transcripts. It was interesting to see the video. So tell me what you think then. Like did they show? I'm trying to remember now. Did they show the enhanced video? I mean, Nick was doing it, so I'm sure he did. I'm sure he didn't show the original. Didn't they say in the beginning there was only stills and audio, and they used, so there was a video and then there was the audio, and the media and social media overlapped the two. So the person we see walking as Bridge Guy, that voice that we hear is not from that video. It plays, when you look at it on social media, you'll see it overlapping because us, the public, did that. When the FBI put it on their website and Carroll County released it, it was not, they're not together. They're different pieces, like they're different files that you click on. We, the public, put them together. So I think it's kind of interesting too, because they say like, you don't hear, people in the courtroom were like, you don't hear, when you hear the words, you don't see Bridge Guy's mouth move. But I'm like, we were never told that you could see Bridge Guy's mouth move. So were they trying to show the jury that Bridge Guy was the one saying it? Because I mean, we never thought that the Bridge Guy's mouth should move in the video, because they always said it didn't. So I'm very confused on that. Even at the very beginning of the case, the law enforcement, oh my God, what's that guy's name? The little short cop with the black hair. He always did the Indiana Road Show. Why can't I think of his freaking name? He always said, like, we can't even prove, like, we don't even know that the person saying the words is actually the person in the video. Go back up to Memo. You don't see Bridge Guy at all. At the end, when you hear Down the Hill. Yeah, you want to? Here, I'll drop you a link. You want to come up and explain it? We were supposed to be doing DNA today, guys, and I don't know if we're going to be doing it. I'm just going to tell you that right now. So the thumbnail may need to go. Here, I'll drop the link. You can come up. It's early, T. Yeah, maybe. We'll see how much my husband wants me for help for dinner. Are there folks here who think that RA is actually not guilty? Yes, there are some here that think he's not guilty. There are also some here that think that the state did not prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. And there's also some here that think he's guilty and the state got it right. So you'll get a plethora of everybody. Ed?
Yep.
Hey.
Hey.
Thanks for coming up here. Okay. Yeah.
You're welcome. Not a problem. Just bear with me. I'm cooking dinner while I'm doing this. So if you guys hear like noises or anything, just pre-warning. Okay.
You're a little crackly. You're better now. Never mind.
Is that better?
Yeah, you're good.
Hello? Okay.
Yeah, you're just a little crackly.
Okay. I'm sorry. So they showed, is that better at all?
Still a little crackly.
Am I still crackly?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. I'll step into the other room. So they showed the video during closing arguments. And it was really just like an interesting experience to watch the video. It was on like the smart TV. It was very, very quiet in the courtroom. You could almost hear a pin drop. And they showed the enhanced video, and they showed like there's an original. So like when they show the original, you really don't see BG like very quickly at all. Like it's almost like he's like not even in the frame. But at some point during this enhancement, they have slowed it down and they took photos of it, right? So when they took the screenshot photos of it to show, when you see him finally come into the frame, he's probably about 30 feet back from Abby, right? So then you just kind of like see Libby, like she's facing like toward the end of the bridge and she's walking and her phone is face down at her left side. So you just see like the rails, you know, of the bridge. And as she's, you know, coming off, you see like the leaves and things like that, right? So you can tell that there's like not really like, it's not super nervousness, but it's like an excitement from Abby because like she kind of like takes off running past. And, you know, like she's excited to, you know, kind of hit the end of the bridge. I don't really like, you know, get the nervousness from them, but you hear Libby tell Abby that there's no path at the end. She tells her there's no path. And Libby's standing there. She starts to kind of like say hello to, you know, because obviously the guy's talking to her, but you can't really make out like what he says. It's just kind of like he's like, yeah, like her voice gets kind of low, and then next thing you hear is down the hill, and that's it. That's the end of the video. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay,
what to
so
take from that?
I want you to walk me through it. So Libby's moving when she's recording the video or not? Is Libby
Correct.
walking or is
Correct.
Libby
She's walking. She's walking. It's at the end of the bridge. You know that it's at the end of the bridge because the phone is face down toward the railroad ties. You know what I mean? Like it's face down. You see her come off. As you see like her come off the bridge, there's the foliage from the leaves there. And the phone is still face down. You really don't see like anybody's face, you know, like you can tell Abby runs past her at one point, you know what I mean? But it doesn't catch Abby's face. But she's running and she tells her there's no path there. Like there's no path to go down. And she's got the phone still face down on the ground. Not at any time does she like lift it up to like show the individual that's approaching her. You hear the words hello. And next thing you know, you hear down the hill. The 3 words, down the hill.
Okay, so did they show, this is just the enhanced video that you're talking about, right? The one that they show at closing?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, they
So
showed the enhanced
Libby
video.
on the bridge and walks off the bridge during the video or no?
Yeah, she's coming off the bridge, but she's like, Abby goes running in front of her. She's behind Abby. So Abby takes off kind of running forward and Libby's walking behind her. She's got her phone facing the ground. You can tell that the phone is in her left hand. It's facing like you see the railroad ties, you see coming off the bridge because you see where she comes up to where the hill is and where the leaf foliage is, you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of leaves there. Never one time does she like lift the phone up to face toward whoever it is that's approaching her. You hear her say hello, and then you hear down the hill, and that's the end of it.
Okay, so do they play the unenhanced one at all or no? Not during that?
No.
Not during the closing. Okay.
Mm-mm.
And you weren't there the day they played the unenhanced one?
No. No, okay. I wasn't.
Would you be able to tell like how far on the bridge Libby was when the video starts?
Yes. Yes,
Where
she would.
Where do you think she was? Like, how far back on the bridge do you think she was?
She was past that last platform that's on the right side. She was past that. Not very far past it, like shortly past it. You know what I mean? Because if she had been filming from where she's seen him at front and then she turned around and she immediately like put her phone down toward her left side facing toward the bottom of the railroad tracks, you know what I mean? Like the trestle.
Okay, so when she catches BG in the video, she would be back closer to platform 6 and then catches BG in the video, or she doesn't catch him until the end?
No, she catches him while he's walking on the railroad tracks. Like it's you know, clearly on the railroad tracks. And then it's like she, you know, turns around, she goes to start walking, and like she's going, and Abby obviously at one point had to have been behind her. Then Abby takes off toward the end of the bridge, and you hear Libby tell her there's no path there. Like there's no other path to take. There's nowhere to go because you're going to have to go down the hill, or your other, you know, option would be to turn around and go back across the bridge back to the north side.
Okay, so Abby comes like around Libby, and Libby's like, "There's no path there." Like so,
yeah, she like comes running past her, like you know, you get to the end of the bridge, and it's like because when you visit the bridge, like when you physically go there and you come in on the north side, right? Like before they did like the reconstruction and things like that, I was there. And like that side of the bridge is old, it's rickety, it's like points where you go to step on it, it bows in. You can clearly tell that it's just, it was so dilapidated that it was not safe to cross. However, the south end of the bridge seems like it's in better condition and a lot better preserved. I don't know why. It's not like the north side of the bridge for some reason. You know what I mean? So
a lot of people will come out on the bridge just to go over the water, and the majority of the south side of the bridge is over land.
yeah,
And this technically was private property right here. This was the Webbers. They took it for like, what do they call it, like eminent domain or whatever. The state. But this, yeah. So a lot of people didn't come on this site, so probably just didn't have the wear and tear that from people on it.
There was a sign at one point down at the end of that bridge that said no trespassing. So, you know, they knew like you're not supposed to go like that way. Of course, obviously not everybody listens or whatnot, but that's the two choices that they would have had, you know. Like I've heard rumors in the past that like, you know, they've trespassed on that property over there and maybe had a talking to a time or two, whatever. I mean, if somebody can verify that, then that would be awesome. But so they would have had no other choice but to turn around and go back across. You know what I mean? But like I said, it's like Libby finishes recording toward where BG is. She turns around. She's got the phone in her left hand. It's facing the railroad ties. She's walking.
She has the phone in her left hand?
Yes, it's in her left hand. Clearly, it is in her left hand. And she's holding it. It's facing like the bridge, the railroad bridge, because it's they're turning around to come off. Abby runs past her, because it's not like they're so far out. Like they're within a certain spot on the bridge where it's not as bad as it is on the north side. So, you're able to speed up and, gain momentum or whatever. And I'm not like, to me, it didn't strike me as like Abby, like going forward in fear. It was almost like, hey, I completed this challenge, whatever, like you take off and you hear Libby say, there's no path there. There's no path to go down, And then Libby's standing there for a minute. Her phone is still facing the ground. You see, the leaves and foliage. You do hear Libby say hello. And then next thing you hear is down the hill. Down the hill. That's it. And the entire time, you just see the phone facing the ground. It's in her left hand. And that's it. Like you see the foliage.
Do you hear guys at all?
No, you do not hear the word guys. You don't hear the word guys. You just hear the words down the hill. Now, I know that in court, it was said that there were officers testifying to hearing the word gun and, a cocking of the gun. I didn't hear that. I was like not super, super close to the front or whatever. Like I was in the second to last row in the back. And I mean, for as quiet, for as quiet as it was in that courtroom, and it was extremely quiet. Like you could have heard a pin drop in that courtroom. I never heard the cocking of a gun. I never heard the word gun. I did not hear those words. I did not hear the word guys.
Nobody at trial says they said the word gun, right? I mean, that's just from the motions or the PCF.
Right.
Or one of them.
I don't know who said what on the stand because there's certain days that I wasn't like physically in there to hear it. You know what I mean? So I have to wait with the rest of the world for the transcript. However, I didn't hear a cocking of a gun. I didn't hear the word gun, and I did not hear the word guys. I did hear the words.
Liggett said he heard cocking the gun. Yeah, he says he hears that. That'd be a gun. That'd be a gun. But nobody ever. they're not, even when they're talking about the audio though, when they're playing these, they're not talking, that nobody's saying that this is when they say gun, this is when they say guys.
I'm just saying, like, that's not something I heard. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear those words. I didn't hear talking of anything.
Did you hear Abby say something along the lines of "Don't leave me up here" or anything like that? And I get it. Like, so anybody who's listening in chat, like, she's saying she was in the back of the courtroom. She may not have
I was
heard
in
it.
the back. Yeah, there's sometimes, like, the acoustics are terrible in there. Like I said, I was in the second to last row. And I didn't, like, there were some things that you couldn't really hear very well. Sometimes it was muffled. But yeah, so I really don't know how to answer that because I didn't. There's muffled, like, you can't hear every single thing. I mean, you could hear a lot of it. I definitely crystally clear heard down the hill. I clearly heard Libby telling Abby that there was no path. I clearly heard Libby saying hello to somebody. You know what I mean? Those are the things that I heard. And yeah.
So I'm just
like,
putting it in perspective. So Libby's back here Libby's still on the bridge when it starts.
Yes. Yes.
And then,
Libby's still on the bridge. Abby at that point was still on the bridge. Abby goes past her. Libby calls to her. There's no path. You know what I mean? And she's walking. The phone's in her left hand. It's facing the bridge railroad ties, and you see her come off. And it's not like a super long length. You know what I mean? As she's coming off the railroad ties, she's actively walking. She's actively got the phone in her hand. It's facing the ground. She's going forward. You start to see the foliage from the leaves there. And you see the dirt, like the hill, and you hear down the hill.
So walking from here, Abby comes in front of her. They get to the end.
Yes, Abby comes in front of her to get to the end. And Libby calls to her. There's no path down there.
There's no path there.
Yeah, there's no path there. That's exactly what Libby said to Abby. There's no path there. You never see the girls' faces, Radar. No. You never see the girls' faces. Like, she calls to you, like, she passes her. Like, you know how if your friend is, like, going past you, she's a little bit fast, and you're like, hey, there's no path down there, or wait for me, type thing. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying to you? Kind of like that. Like, Abby goes past her, and she's like, hey, there's no path down there. And
do you
then,
remember if it was a hello or if it was a hi?
I don't remember if it was a hello, hi. You just hear, like, it's garbled for a second. You know what I mean? It's not like, but you hear whoever it is has come up and said something to Libby. You know, she's like, huh, hello, hi. You know what I mean? And then you hear down the hill. Before the person approaches her, though, you do hear her letting Abby know there's no path there to go. Like, you can't go anywhere. There's nowhere to go.
She's telling her that before the down the hill. So yes. I'm gonna come right back to that, DB. Hold on. So HTC, according to J Rabbit, which I have not watched HTC's coverage of everything, so I don't know. But that down the hill was first. Everybody else I did listen to all reported that there's no path there, because that was a question I had when we were going over testimony. Was there's no path there being before down the hill? Because I was like, who is she talking to? So it makes more sense that she's actually talking to Abby, who's trying to go. But you don't hear you don't hear Abby say, "Don't leave me up here." You don't hear, "Is he still behind me?" Or do you hear any of those types of things? Okay.
No.
Remember, you guys, this is a 43-second video that has been enhanced and played at the closing argument, is what we're discussing right now. So you guys, you have to take all that in context. DB wants to know, wait, so Libby called to Abby like, hey, there's no path there? Was Abby far away from her at that point? Or
no, it's like I said, you know, it's almost like, you know, if you're with your buddy and they're going faster than you know what I mean? It's like, hey, there's no path there. Wait up, you know, kind of thing. It's not like she's super far ahead. You know what I mean? But she's obviously to that spot where Libby's got to tell her, you're coming up on this spot. There's nowhere to go. There's no way to go. Like, you know what I mean? That's how I took it.
Okay. It did. They didn't put out the guys portion generally, Jenny, until the 2019 presser. Before that, it was just
yeah, and the last thing that you hear before the video ends is down the hill. You don't hear the word guys, you hear down the hill. It's eerie, and you're left sitting there like, can you play that again? And they only played it once. You know what I mean? For me, like, I wanted to stand up and be like, excuse me, can you please play that again? It was like, to me, watching that 43-second video, it didn't feel like 43 seconds. It was very quick. And it just made you wanted to look at it again. You know what I mean?
Let me see if I can find this picture, because I'm trying. This no path thing really doesn't make a lot of sense. There's no path there.
No, it's not Abby saying there's no path. It is clearly Libby saying there is no path. She is letting Abby know there is no path. There's nowhere to go. You have nowhere to go from here. Give me a second. I got to grab a charger so I don't lose you.
I'm looking for a photo.
Okay.
You know how that goes for me.
Yes, ma'am. I understand. Sometimes I have those days too. No worries.
How to make the whole, like, the thumbnails of my photos bigger, because, like, I'm looking at, like, these little tiny thumbnails trying to figure out where shit is, and that's what kind of screws me. If I could make these thumbnails bigger where I could actually see what the hell I was looking at, I'd be able to see more clearly. But I wanted to find the photo going the other way. Is it this one? Yeah, this is one of them. But, like, there's, like, so I'm trying to figure out, like, there's no path. There still is a path, and it does go to this barricade.
Right.
That's not the best picture, but there's still a path there. I have another one.
Right, but it, like, the barricade's there, but you understand what I'm saying? Like, it says no trespassing. Like, there was something at the end there that, like, I don't know if that specific thing was there, but it's like a block off ordeal. You know what I mean? Like a wood piece of wood. It reminds me of like a sawhorse setup type thing. You know what I mean? Like that piece, no trespassing sign. So you're left with one of two options. You could go to the left or you could go to the right. You know what I mean? But the right is not necessarily like the most optimal way. It looks a little bit less of a steeper incline if you go to the left, the way that, you know, they were told to go. Let's see.
All right, let me see what the chat's saying. So yes, there are paths, and Abby knows the private drive. It is her road, right? Right. Like that's what I'm thinking. She knows, like, yeah, I can't actually go over here because it takes me to this road that I can just walk home on.
Right.
So somebody asked, like, why they had stated a couple times, and the particular question in chat was about Holman, and Holman in the unaired documentary talking about not releasing the video because it's so disturbing. Like, it's so disturbing. Obviously, I don't think that the video itself is what's disturbing. I think that what they're trying to insinuate was probably putting that out there, one, for the public to be like, oh my gosh, there's like something gruesome on here. But as soon as they tell us that the down the hill is at the end of the, as soon as we know that down the hill is at the end of the bridge, and that's at the end of the video, we don't, there is no, 43 seconds is backwards. So that ends the 43 seconds. So we know that there's no killing or anything crazy on there.
No.
So, but I think for public perception, it's knowing that the girls, that's the last things that the girls are ever heard saying.
Correct. And you see, yeah, and like you see the
is different than disturbing, but I would go with
right.
heartbreaking, that I would not know if I would want my girls' final words that were ever recorded to be out there like that, or if there was. Could you tell if they were scared?
I
Because some
mean,
people that you could tell they were scared.
I think it's to the individual's interpretation that hears it. You know what I mean? Because to me, when Libby had responded back to the person that was speaking to her, she seemed a little bit nervous, you know. Like Abby at that point, like Abby didn't seem scared. She's, you know, like she's running past her. I don't think it was a scare thing. I think she was excited to kind of get to the end of the bridge. She, you know, she's going further. Libby's like, there's no path. But you can tell that Libby begins to get a little bit nervous once this person walks upon her. And, you know, she's like, huh? Hello, huh? Like, you know what I mean? Like, she doesn't, like, this person is saying something to her. It's obviously like a typical teenager type thing where, huh? What did you say? You know? And then next thing you hear is down the hill.
Right.
You don't see anything. You don't hear anything else. That's the end of it. Like, that's the end of the video. And you're just left sitting there like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, can you replay that again? Because it just, it gives you just a different feeling altogether when you hear it. You know, it made chills go down my spine when I heard it.
Like because you hear the girls' voices, or because you just, you know, of 5, you know, or
it's because you know, but you know what happens to those poor girls after this.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I can't describe to you what that's like to sit there and you're like you know that the last thing those girls heard was down the hill. You know what I mean? The voice was ugh, gross, grisly, in my opinion.
Did it sound to you in the courtroom like the same voice that we've heard publicized for years?
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
Just
Was there a positive identification of Abby's face in the video at all?
No. You never see either of the girls' faces.
Okay. So I know a couple of people that were there for a couple of the other days said you do see Abby's face. So I don't know if that's which version of the video they see Abby's face. I don't know which one that is. Maybe it was the not.
I mean, you
one.
also have to remember, guys, I was all the way in the back, second to last row in the courtroom. They're showing this on a television screen that's like a regular smart TV. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not as far up. I also, you know what I mean? Like, and it's on the left side of the courtroom. I'm sitting on the right side of the courtroom. So again, like, maybe there were some things I didn't see on the screen. I didn't see her like face myself. So, you know what I mean?
Right. No, I understand completely. So
if I didn't see it, I'm not going to say I saw something that I didn't see
I agree
myself.
What did you happen to see their clothing? Could you see clothing on either girl?
It was very quick. No, like it wasn't something that like where it stood still, where you could like stop and freeze and see. I didn't see all that personally. No.
Okay. All right. Well, that's interesting too.
Because like it's like she films VG, and like it's never like turning the phone around and you see anyone's face or her face, nothing like that. Like the phone immediately gets face down on like toward the railroad ties, the ground on her left side. You can clearly tell the device is in Libby's left hand. It's very clear.
And you
she never attempts.
Where is she at? Where is she at on the bridge again? I think I asked you this already, but I'm going to ask you again. Where is she at on the bridge again? When you see,
she's past the last platform. You know what I mean? Like it's not super far.
Is that when she captures BG?
Yeah, when she's at the last platform, in my opinion, on the right side, that's where she captures him. That's my opinion. I mean, could it be the platform up? I guess maybe, but to me, I feel like it's that last platform. So she captures him, she turns around, the phone is facing the ground after she captures him. It automatically goes facing toward the railroad tie as she's coming off. She's still actively moving. You understand what I'm saying? Like, she doesn't stop moving. She keeps going. And you see, like, the end of the end of the railroad bridge ties as she's stepping off. You see the leaves and foliage on the ground. You see the hill. You hear somebody like say something that's not crystal clear. It's garbled. You know what I mean? And Libby's like, huh? Hello, what? You know? And then I heard down the hill. That was it. That was the end of the entire video. It left me sitting there scratching my head, wanting to hear and see it again. Because when you just get that little small snippet of it, like, you want to be able to look at it and examine it. You know what I mean? That's it. Like, it was very fast. It didn't feel like a full 43 seconds. It felt like there should have been more to me, but there wasn't.
That's interesting. There's a lot of people who, when they played the original in the courtroom, that even said that it was not 43 seconds. But obviously, nobody could have their smart devices, to be able to tell you exactly how long it was. But a lot of them said that it did not feel like it was. It didn't. Seconds.
Yeah, it didn't feel like it was 43 seconds to me. It felt like it was very quick. The video was very, very quick. Very quick. So, I mean, that's really all I can say about it. Like, it's crazy,
I'm really hoping that it's going to be put out to the public, because I mean, I know so many people are going to be dissecting the actual video for everything it's worth and seeing what comes out. Instead of this script little, repeated ridge guy, step back, step back, like he's doing some weird dance.
Right.
I hope they end up releasing it.
Yeah, I sure hope that they release it too. And to everybody, yeah, like 43 seconds would, that is kind of a lot of video, but it doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like that 43 seconds. It went so quickly that, like, by the time you get done watching it, like, you're shocked. You know what I mean? And you're struck, and you're like, holy, I got to see that again. But it was so fast. Like I said, it did not feel like 43 seconds to me at all. Not in the least. And that's just my personal opinion.
No, I understand. No, thank you for sharing all of that with us. I mean, anybody who's watching, this is her perception of what was played during the arguments under the enhancements. So you can take it, leave it, throw it in the trash, do whatever you want with it. I appreciate you coming up and sharing it. It puts some perspective for me that I need, and so I thank you for doing it.
Well, yeah, and it put even more perspective on it for me. Like I said, like, I'm not one of these people that just went and just followed this only from jury trial. Like, I've gone to the hearings. I have listened to a crazy amount of stuff. I have my own personal opinions when it comes to certain things. And, yeah, there's a lot of things that should have been done, things that were not done. Things that were not allowed. Like, I can't even. And I really hope that somebody does overturn this and take a second look at this, and they really go after the people who are responsible for this. Because I'm telling you, in my opinion, this guy he ain't it. He's not it. He's not it. And I still want them to answer the questions, like, who the hell told them that Brad Holder was the fucking know-it-all on the damn Odinism? I still got a lot of questions. Listen, I've got more questions than I do answers for me personally. there's another side and aspect to this that I worry about. People can sit here and they can say the Odinism thing is garbage, whatever. But I know that in my life, I've had personal experience where this is not a game. It's not a game. Okay. And for me, like I said, I've gone to all these hearings. So the March 18th hearing, I heard a name mentioned during that hearing that this ties to such a bigger, larger narrative. Okay. And it affects so many people.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So I've kept my mouth very much closed. Okay. Because I just wasn't sure how people would take me or listen. So
Doesn't
many
matter,
people have
because
been ridiculed
some people are gonna
for
love
a
you.
lot
Some
of
people are gonna
things.
hate you. It's just gonna be whatever.
Right.
That's where I'm at with the whole
But-
thing. I'm like, I can give a shit. Don't fucking
Right.
like me. Don't watch me. Leave me alone.
So-
whatever.
So here's my take on this. Okay. I don't think I've ever shared this with you. So I will share it with you and I will share it with all of you. So back in 2018, my daughter got in trouble for an incident with the Carmel Synagogue in Carmel, Indiana. She was 17 years old. She had married her boyfriend, husband. They, got married. It was like 2 weeks after they got married. They had gotten into some groups following like the Trump rallies and things of that nature, and they met people who were connected to groups of anti-Semitism. And they were recruited to commit a graffiti, and they really wanted them to actually burn down the place, but they got scared because there were security cameras around. Okay, so they chose to paint a swastika flag on the trash receptacle, and they put down some stuff in the grass and they set it on fire. And Indiana did not have a hate crime law at all. My ex-son-in-law got 3 years in federal prison. My daughter at the time got 2 years probation. But before this, as my daughter was going through litigation, there were KKK flyers that were printed up, and my daughter's address was put on those KKK flyers. And they were dropped in yards in Martinsville, Indiana. Fast forward, I go to court March 18th, 2024, when we're starting to find out all of this information. And wouldn't you know that the man that was responsible for helping to print those KKK flyers and drop them in the yards in Martinsville, Indiana, he was one of the individuals that was mentioned during those court hearings as a truck driver, people. So for me, y'all can sit here, you can tell me that this is fucking crazy, but I'm not crazy. Okay?
Wow.
This is a problem. Now, first and foremost, before anything, I am a concerned I'm a concerned citizen of the state of Indiana. I pay my taxes. I do a lot of things, but let me tell you something. This is a problem. And they're not just targeting your kids, it's your families. It's unsafe. So for somebody to tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about, that I need to shut up, do your homework. Do your homework. Come at me when you got something. Okay? I am absolutely outraged and sickened by the fact that these people have not. There's nothing that's happened to them. There's nothing been addressed. There are innocent lives that have been lost over and over and over, and it's disgusting. There were so many preventative measures that could have been taken to prevent not just this crime, but other crimes, and people sat on it and they did absolutely nothing. And see, when people in society sit down and they allow people who are doing bad things to do the same thing over and over and over again, because they're afraid to speak up, guess what? That causes people to be complacent and allow it to keep happening. And we as a society cannot allow these things to keep continuing to happen. We just can't. So that's my story, and I'm
Girl, I hope that you
people
I
can
hope
take
you
it
tell
whatever the way
world.
they want to take it.
I hope you tell the world exactly what all the details of what you're talking about, and I hope you do it.
I will. It's coming.
God damn.
So, like, I've kept my mouth shut. I've not said a word because, people want to say and do what they think, you know, but it's a problem and somebody needs to do something about it.
I'm working on it.
Aww.
I know. I'm working on it.
I know, honey.
I'm slow.
You're not slow.
You're not slow.
But
Busy.
it's just take it a day at a time. That's all. But yeah, so like for everybody who thinks that this isn't a problem, that this is crazy, this is not crazy. This is a problem. Okay? It's a real thing. Yeah, it's a real thing. You know, um, and you don't understand it until something like that happens. Something like that happens.
Nobody's going to understand. No, be honest. Nobody's going to.
They're going to understand it.
How? Your money? Money's fake.
Well,
I got you.
I
Well, I want to hear it.
please leave me alone right now.
No, I'm curious.
Oh.
If you know the answer, tell me.
Sorry, he's had a little bit too much sauce tonight. So,
It's completely okay. He's very protective of you.
yeah, he tries to be. But yeah, so for me, like I said, I sat in that courtroom in March 18th and I heard that name and I was like, no, 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 no. And
Before
to me,
that,
my stomach just dropped.
did you not know he was connected or involved or going to be named in this case whatsoever? Like you were just like, holy shit, like that, him?
Well, I didn't have, like, I had done some research on like Brad Holder and things like that, like people that they talked about in the beginning. I've followed this case from the beginning. I watched it. People talk about people, you see connections and things like that, but you're like, I didn't even like until the Franks memorandum came out September 19th. Oh my God. I was like, no, 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 no. You know what? No, no way, no way. I'm crazy. I'm crazy. I thought I was nuts. I was like, no, no, this can't be connected. Let it go. Don't even think about it. And so I just tried to tell myself, like, this isn't it. This isn't it. This isn't it. And as I sat in that courtroom that day and I heard that name, and I went home and I reconfirmed, like, yes, this is the guy that was arrested for creating these KKK flyers, for putting my daughter's address on these flyers on top of it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
On top of all of the things, you tried to recruit a 17-year-old child. I get it. You got to get in where you fit in. But it's not okay. It's not okay. It's not. So, yeah. That's really like all I can really say about it. Like, somebody has got to say something and somebody's got to say enough is enough. This is not going to change. This is not going to be any different until somebody starts the path of making a change, and like I said, did I ever think like this was going to be something that was connected? No, I never thought in a million years. And I thought, I don't like, it's sickening. You understand? It's very sickening to me.
Well, when it's affecting your family like that, I can imagine.
Yeah. So, DB, I don't know who testified. Actually, I've never even pulled up his stuff. But, like, when it happened, I was just so, like, the breath got knocked out of my body when I got the phone call and I got told to turn on the news and the house was being raided by the FBI.
Jeez.
Right? Nothing sinks your heart more. Nothing makes your heart drop in your stomach more. Because first and foremost, I'm like, who the hell? What? No, like my daughter was a straight A student. She was involved in sports, like all of that stuff. Like she was doing so well, and she was dating this guy, and he was going to college, and my daughter was very excited because she was getting ready to graduate early, and she's getting ready to start taking her path to try to go to college. This hit me out of nowhere, like never in a million years did I ever imagine that this was what was going on. And my daughter was in a Discord server, and she was in contact with people. You know, um, there's some other things that I've been told, but it's too dangerous to repeat, that I will never repeat.
Okay. Yeah.
Don't. And so for me, like, it made me sick, because the first thing that I thought was like, why? Why would you do that to another human being? How could you treat another human being like that? And I thought, what in the world? Like, for real, like, is this really going on? And it's not just one part of the state, it is all the way up and down the state. It's all interconnected. When Carter talks about those tentacles are for real, people. It's not a conspiracy theory. And you can tell me all day till you're blue in the face it's a conspiracy theory. No, you don't know it until you've had to deal with it, until you've had to live with it at all. So,
do you? Maybe I'll just wait. I'll wait for you to go further into detail when you decide that you're going to do it. Then I'll ask some more questions, because I've got a few questions. Obviously.
Well, maybe you and I should set up a live one night where we can sit down and I can take you through my story, and
Yeah, I would love it.
like you can look up all of the things that I'm telling you. It's true. I'm 100% factually being truthful with you. I have no reason to lie. I don't have to. I ain't got to lie to kick it. But I get tired of people saying.
But I also want to make sure that you take care of you and your family before you take care of anything on social media. You know what I mean? But you're right. I mean, if people don't talk about it, people don't know. So, I mean,
right. And I've been very grateful to some of those individuals who have listened to me and who have offered support. And I've made some really good friends, and I've met some wonderful people along the way too. So I'm forever grateful for that, for those connections. And if I speak out, that's okay, because at least somebody knows something, like it's sharing awareness for another path, because this isn't just one problem, like it's a multiple amount of problems here, and if something were to happen to me, at least y'all would know. At least I wouldn't have gone down for nothing, right? So,
well, I don't want you to go down for anything.
I'm not worried about going down, hun. God's got my back. Trust me. I've got some angels on the other side that protect me always. But like I said, people can say and do whatever it is that they want to do. But if you don't bring awareness and you don't stand up for something, then what are we doing? What are we doing if we're not searching for better? For not just, the world, but for our children, like their futures. So, yeah. So
I agree with you. I'll absolutely. If you want to set something up, we can go through it. Like I said, I just want to make sure that you guys or you and your fam are safe before anything. But I mean, like you said though, don't talk about it. People don't understand it, and then it becomes like a joke. And people are like, that's not happening. That's not real. That's bullshit.
But it's not a joke. You don't know until it happens to you. You don't know until it happens to you. And then what? You're gonna be bullied into shutting up. I'm not gonna be bullied into shutting up. I'm not gonna be complacent. Shut me the fuck up if you can. I dare you. But I doubt you will. So, but yeah, I mean, And I did a live about it, like on my channel or whatever at one
You
point.
did?
And yeah, it's called Living in My Truth. I've chosen to leave some names out of it, you know what I mean? Like, but I just kind of like had to like talk
See that
about
on your
this
channel?
because
Find it.
somebody had tried to do some whole ass shit, and they tried to like it was almost like a scare tactic or like a threatening tactic. And because they did that, I came out and talked about it on my live because I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of you, I'm not afraid of who you're fucking with. I don't care. I don't care.
Did
But
you
I'll
take
tell
it
you
down?
another connection.
Oh, I see
No,
it.
no.
Oh, it's from
And
a few months. Okay, I got it.
yeah. And so and it's like you guys have to understand, like I've been through a lot. I really have, you know. Um and I do cry a lot because you have to understand, like I let you know where I came from and all of those things because, you know, I could be easily a statistic like anybody else, you know. Um,
Right.
but I made it. And I've learned a lot of things in my life. So one thing I've learned is that you don't ever take somebody else for granted. You know what I mean? Um, and you always try to lend a helping hand when you can. You know, that's just me. So
Yeah, I put your
um,
video, which I have not actually seen, so I'm going to watch it too. The link, I'll drop it again. This is the video she's talking about from her channel that she goes in and discusses it. I'm going to take a look at it and see. Like I didn't know any of this part of it. So
I've
I'm
never
enjoying
shared
it.
it with people. Like I have not shared it with people because there were people that like I shared this with, and some people have been so very supportive and they have guarded like all of that because you know it's a very dangerous thing to speak out about something like this. It really is. It's dangerous. It can be, but like I really feel like if I don't say something, then what am I doing? You know what I mean? Like why? What good am I doing somebody else if somebody doesn't know? So everybody needs to know. Everybody needs to be aware of what's happening. And there's receipts. Y'all can go look at the receipts yourself. You know what I mean? So at any rate,
I'm just putting your stuff in
um,
chat.
so yeah, so we can set up a time or whatever where we can get together. That we can talk about this. I hope that, you know, my story helps spread the awareness. And, you know, I hope that people understand that this is really like, this is important and it's not fake. It is very real. These things affect very real people and very real lives. And it's a problem, you know.
You guys,
So,
chat. You guys be nice to each other. Please don't be. Just you guys know, don't be assholes. I get it. Like, this isn't something that everybody cares about. But don't be an asshole. Just chill.
you know, I don't care. Like, people can say whatever they want to say, they can have their own opinions. That's okay. That's okay. But, you know, when you wake up, let us all know. Because if you
So
just close your eyes and you let these things keep happening, you know, it's just going to get worse.
yeah. So I'm gonna watch your video. And does it have And then you're gonna do something else, or you want to do something where I can do like something with you. You
We
want
can,
to like?
we can do a follow up or whatever, so you can ask your questions
Yeah.
and we can whatever. Yeah, no, I'm totally cool with that. If you want to watch my video, there's something else shocking that's probably gonna catch you. You'll probably want to talk about that one too, my dear.
Okay.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Just wait, and I'll hit you on the cord, and I'll
Yes.
send you some receipts for some things so that you are 1000% understanding where I'm coming from.
I appreciate it. Yes,
So.
I want to know. I appreciate you
Yep.
coming up. I appreciate you sharing your experience in the courtroom and your life experience. I mean,
Thanks.
yeah, I'm definitely interested to learn more. So, thank you for coming up. I don't know if I've been on here for way too long to even start a whole nother topic. So I think I'm going to break this down and wrap it up.
All right. Well, sounds good. Thank you for listening. Thank you
Always.
for having me. You guys have a blessed and beautiful evening.
Thank you so much, honey.
You too. Bye.
Well, hot diggity damn! I'm gonna go watch that video tonight and see what's some history on that. That was all brand new information for me. I've not heard any of that. So I thank Gritty for sharing with us, and I'm curious to learn more. We have been on for 3 hours. I know Shibby's gonna be like, you filibustered the entire fucking live, Teresa. Like you didn't even get to the point that you were supposed to. I know, I didn't. It takes me a while to try to break stuff down and wrap my mind around things, and I don't know. I like just talking to you guys about it in general. So I screwed that one up. This one's on me. But I mean, I've still got all the info. We'll just schedule. It'll be a part 3. So we did two parts on the phone, plus a little bit with the BG video. So part 3 will be DNA. I know, you guys. This is just how it goes. So yeah, you guys still hang out with me. See, this is when I tell you guys at the end of the lives that I know you guys have 1,000 other places you could go, but you guys still choose to hang out with me. And sometimes I don't know why, but it's very humbling that you still do it. So thank you guys for being here. I will schedule for Monday. We can do Monday. We'll do Monday for DNA. How's that sound? Yeah, see, Shibby's right there. Filibustering and freeballing. See, I freeballed the whole live and didn't end up on the topic I was supposed to. Shibby. But thank you guys for being here. Go enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Enjoy your Sunday. And I will see you guys on Monday. And we will do DNA. We will. All right. Have a
Do you dare to follow me down? Head into the unknown. Down the rabbit hole. Where it stops, no one knows. We're going We're going Do you dare to follow me down? Head into the unknown.